Hello! So I've been running out of things to talk about in OM, at least until the final update comes out, so for this video I decided to switch things up a bit. In today's video I'm going to answer the question, could Tails from Sonic Mania beat Sonic.EXE in a fight? Now before we get into the fight itself, we first need to scale the two characters just to see just how powerful they are, or how great of feats they've accomplished. Let's look at Sonic.EXE first, or more specifically, Crimson.EXE. Now the only thing we can really use to scale Crimson.EXE is what he can do in his own game, but he actually has a good amount of things going for him. First of all, he has the physical abilities of Sonic the Hedgehog from Sonic 3 and Knuckles specifically. Since it's the same sprite and the file select from Sonic.EXE is the same from the file select from Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Now, on top of having the same physical traits as Sonic, Crimson.EXE can also teleport, fly, create illusions, and to a certain extent warp reality. It's safe to say that Crimson.EXE is significantly stronger than Sonic the Hedgehog, well, from Sonic 3 and Knuckles specifically, but now we get to scale Mania Tails, and good God, does he have a lot going for him. So in Sonic Mania, Tails is able to take on the Phantom Egg, a machine that harnesses the power of the Phantom Ruby. Now, as most of you know, the Phantom Ruby is an incredibly powerful gem that has the ability to warp reality, which, as shown in Sonic Forces, has the ability to create an entire sun. Kinda. It's a bit weird, but for all sakes and purposes, it's an actual sun. Mania Tails beat a mad genius who had a rock that could create a sun. That alone is already starting to tip the scales in Mania Tails' favor, but that's not all. There's more. Now, while Mania Sonic is technically stronger than Mania Tails, they both managed to take on the Phantom Egg, so I feel comfortable in saying both are similar in power. Tails is definitely weaker, but he's still, somewhat comparable. Now, Mania Sonic is the same Sonic from Sonic Forces, Classic Sonic specifically, and any feats that Classic Sonic did in Sonic Forces apply to Mania Sonic. And since Mania Sonic is comparable to Mania Tails, we can use that to further scale Mania Tails. Now, Classic Sonic only really goes up against two boss fights in Sonic Forces, one of which is the final boss, but since he teams up with Modern Sonic and the Avatar character, I don't feel too confident in using that to scale him. But his other boss fight is very significant to the scaling. Classic Sonic, aka Mania Sonic, beat the Egg Dragoon Mark II, an enhanced version of an Eggman mech that Unleashed Sonic couldn't beat. Now you're probably saying, but Sonic did beat the Egg Dragoon, it's the last boss fight before the final boss fight. While yes, Sonic did beat the Egg Dragoon, that was only with his Werehog form, as in the opening cutscene, we were shown that regular Sonic wasn't able to beat the Egg Dragoon, which were having to rely on Super Sonic. Classic Sonic beat a stronger version of the Egg Dragoon, without a Werehog form, without Chaos Emeralds, by himself. Now, from that alone, Mania Sonic is stronger than Unleashed Sonic, like base Unleashed Sonic. And as such, I feel somewhat safe in saying that Mania Tails is comparable to regular Unleashed Sonic, or at least 06 Sonic level. From this scaling, Mania Tails can most definitely handle Crimson.EXE, but just how easy would it be for him to win? Well, from how I see it, the fight can go in either two directions. The encounter is the same as in the game Sonic.EXE, where Tails approaches Sonic without realizing he's possessed. Now, once Crimson.EXE reveals himself, he can either A, kill Tails immediately since Tails is caught off guard and doesn't realize what's going on, or B, Crimson.EXE can start playing with his food, and 9 times out of 10, option B is going to happen. I'm not too sure how this fight would go, since reality warping is still incredibly powerful and teleporting is still a pain to deal with. But if Tails can beat Eggman with the Phantom Ruby, I'm fairly certain he could beat Crimson.EXE. Overall, I'd say it's like a medium difficulty for Tails on account of all of Crimson.EXE's abilities. But hey, tell me what you guys think in the comments, and I might consider making another one of these videos with someone like Lord X. I'd like to say thank you to my friend Falcon for helping me research this topic, and thank you for watching.